Retha, welcome to the Don't Mom Alone podcast.
Hello. How are you?
Oh man, I'm the most excited. I get kind of selfish about my podcast and I invite guests on who are going to help me out. And then if anyone's listening and learn something, that's bonus. But
It's a
I've
bonus.
been so curious to learn from you. We have so many mutual friends,
Yeah.
and they're always talking about your amazing skills and how you've helped them get organized and intentional. And so, welcome to the show. Thank you for helping us out. And I think before we get into Sunday planning, which is
Okay.
the answer, I'd love for you to talk for a minute to the moms and some dads that are listening about capacity as we're heading into this new year and we may be reflecting on how we've spent our time. I mean, I don't want to spend much time talking about the pandemic, but I do feel like it's been the fall was real tricky, and that we just added all this stuff back in because we were so excited to be able to do it again. And then our bodies shut down and we're like, wait, no, I don't actually like this feeling of being,
I don't want to do this.
Yeah, I have no bandwidth left anymore. And so as we're reflecting and thinking, what do we put back in and how do we live our days? Talk to us about this concept of capacity for moms.
Yeah, I think that everybody works, right? So the stay-at-home mom, you work a full-time job because you're home with kids, littles and mid-sized kids and big kids, and you're doing all the things. And then the moms who work outside of the home who are trying to balance work and moving up in their career, possibly, and staying consistent in their career. And then there are the people, the moms in the middle who work from home, which a lot of moms had to do that in the pandemic. And listen, we're entering season 3 of this pandemic. Okay. So just buckle up. I mean, what we thought was happening and what's truly happening. I say all the time that 2021 showed up as the twin sister of 2020. Like, we were like, oh, you look familiar, but maybe is it your nose? Is that what the difference is? It's just so weird because so much of that was the same, and then there was some difference. And so when you think about, I don't think that most people do think about capacity. I do a ton because of my work, and I try to help people think of it. That's really where you look at your plate. So let's get a little exercise here. Now, if you're listening to this and you're walking or doing something else, it's totally fine. Listen, it's replayable. You can come back, because I do want you to really do this. So Heather, you'll do this later, but you get a piece of paper and you draw a circle on it. Nothing fancy. Listen, we're not artists. And you
don't need
just
a
draw
protractor or whatever. That little thing from math
Your circle
class.
doesn't even have to be truly well done.
Okay, great.
But that's your plate. And so what I want you to put on there is everything you're responsible for. Look at your plate and put everything on there that you're responsible for. And that's personal and professional. So it doesn't matter what mom you are in the group that we just talked about. Personal, professional, write everything you're responsible for. Yeah. Then before you
feeling overwhelmed,
because I know.
Yeah.
Because I know you think, oh yeah, let me write this and this. Okay, I'm done. Nope. Now I want you to think of the things that you do monthly. Like maybe you're on a committee, they only meet once a month, your small group, think of that. Then I want you to think quarterly. Again, maybe you're on a board or something and they don't meet often. So you wouldn't think of that in your first run. Think of that. Then I want you to look in your home and go, I probably wrote my kids on there, but what about them adds to my capacity? Are they in a sport? Are they doing some dance? Write that on there? And then look at that person that you're married to, if you're married, and go, what does he do? Like, how am I responsible for him? Because I know you think he's grown and you're not really responsible for him, but there are things that he asks of you ever so oftenly that you would be responsible for.
Okay.
And so you'd write that on there. And then you look at that paper and you go, oh, am I over capacity? Are things spilling out of my plate? Did I have to write some stuff really small to get it on this plate? Am I over capacity? Am I right at the top? Like if you fill a glass with water, is it right at the top? Or am I under? Now, before you've already answered, right? You're going to over, at the top, or under. Now, this is the fun part. Now, I want you to give that to somebody you trust. Send your plate to a friend that's your person, because this is where the accountability comes in. You send that picture or you meet them for lunch and hand it to them and say, do you think that this is all that I should add? Because they know you, right? And
Yeah.
so you think you know yourself, and then they know you better. And then they may tell you some other stuff. And then you go, okay, great. Now you're done. And listen, your person can be your best friend. It could also be your husband. It could be a close coworker. But if you want to be real, give it to somebody who really could help you. And then you take it back and you look at it and you answer again. Am I over? Am I under? Or am I right at it? And when you look at that, you go, oh, I'm entering a season of no. I need to say no to some things until I can take some things off. Some of my clients have even done this exercise and given it back to me or showed it to me with a different colored pen. They wrote expiration dates on some stuff.
Okay.
Because this is going to end. Like Johnny will stop playing basketball in February. So all of this big chunk will come off. And you can do that, color code it out. But you need to know if you're in a season of no, if you're in a season of, I got to wait till some things come off of here to say yes, but I can say yes. Or if you're in a season of, yeah, this is a good time for us to do something extra. So here's why you do that. Because we're in the new year. And so for some people, the new year is like fresh. I just want to be excited about this time and do these things. And so in order to be honest with yourself and not be overwhelmed by February, not be screaming your head off by March, you really look at your capacity and go, this is what we can handle. And it's even important to have that conversation with your spouse. Say, hey, you know what? I did this exercise. Show them your plate. Don't show them your plate. It doesn't matter. But just say, I'm really at the top and I can't take on anything else. So if you're asked, can we, we love the we, can we do this? The answer should be no, not right now. Let's check in again in March. And we do this once a quarter.
Wow.
We check your capacity once a quarter. That's how you lessen seasons of overwhelm. Because as moms, we spend a lot of seasons in overwhelm and we don't have to.
Yeah. And I tell gals that overwhelm on the emotion chart is really fear. And I think the fear comes in because we've said yes to so many things and we know our limitations. And so our fear is we're going to disappoint or we're going to fail or we're going to, be judged or whatever. And it's because we know we aren't enough to do all the things we've committed to. I want to talk a little bit. How does mom guilt fit into that? Because I can imagine for some gals, there is a plate, maybe in a season where there's caring for parents, or it is more of their work is requiring of them, or a child with special needs or something. And then they feel guilt that they can't say yes to the opportunities to serve at their kids' school or a ministry at church that's asking them to help. And they want to do those things. And yet this isn't the time, but they're feeling bad, like they did something wrong because they can't do those things.
Yeah, I think that mom guilt comes in a lot for us. And listen, if you do not know me, I am a mother of three. I have three boys.
How old are they?
They are 17, 15, and 9. He just turned 9 Monday. So they're 17, 15, and 9. So I get the mom guilt. I've had it. I'm free now. Let me tell you the things I'm free from. I'm
Okay.
free from room mom responsibilities. I'm good there. I don't ever have to be one ever in life. I'm free of that guilt. That's not my ministry, and I'm okay with that. But I did feel guilty for a while about that, right? Like I should be the room mom. Why? When there's 20 other people, and that is somebody's ministry. So why are you trying to do that?
Yeah.
I am not the craft mom. It's not my ministry. So why am I feel bad about that? But I think that mom guilt comes in for two reasons. One, because we do not identify who we are. We keep trying to be who Heather is, who Sarah is, who Megan is. You're not that. Be you.
Be
So
your brand,
first,
your mom brand.
yeah,
You to know your
yeah.
brand, what your things are, and own it. Yeah.
I'm not the craft mom.
Yeah.
I'm not the room mom. You know who I am? I am the mom who will probably pick your kid up from wherever. I can carpool like the best of them. That's the
Because you're
mom I
organized
am.
and reliable. I bet. I bet you're organized and
Yes,
reliable. You say you're going to do it, you're going to do it. I have left
I'm there.
people's children at school. So don't ask me. Okay.
Yeah, see, so you're
No,
not the
no,
carpool mom.
well,
You know what I mean?
it makes me feel good when people ask. And so I really am learning to be more responsible, but decades I have not been asked because that's not my brand. Yeah.
No.
Mm-mm.
So I think that's one, right?
Yeah.
You won't fully embrace who you are. You don't know who you are because you haven't asked yourself the questions, and you won't fully embrace who you are.
Mm.
And then the second reason that you have mom guilt is because you believe they care. Here's a freedom moment for you. They don't.
Who is
Those kids
they?
don't care.
We give they
Those
so
kids
much
do not care.
power. The kids
Yeah.
are the people. Like, who do we think? I feel like we think the other moms are judging. I've had that. I've actually had moms say, oh, not enough people volunteer at the school. And and then they get kind of, I don't know, it becomes a
Yeah.
whole thing. So they are judging. But if that's how they want to spend their energy, that's
Yeah,
not on
let
me.
them. But
Put
the
that on their
reason that
plate.
they
Put that
most,
on their plate. They put
I was just
judging
going to
other
say,
moms. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
the reason that those moms feel like they can say that is because no other moms address them in a way to get them to understand. So when moms, that I live in a area where the elementary school it's nothing nice with these moms. But okay, listen. I When I was at the open house, and they were asking for volunteers for this, and this, and this, and this. And then one of the moms looked at me and like looked at me and was like, "What are you volunteering for?" I said, "Nothing. I'm not volunteering for anything." I said, "What I can do is I can make any spreadsheet you want. I can organize it and get it all committed up. I can get it delivered here with no problem. But in this season of my life, I can help you financially and organizationally, but not with me as a person doing anything here." And she said, "Oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense." Yes, it does, Becky, because I just told you who I was. I was not rude about it. And I told you how I can help. Just tell them how you
Yeah.
are helpful.
Yeah. I
And
think that's really
it may be
wise.
a season when you're not helpful at all. And you can just say, in this season, my job or my home life or my parents are taking all of my time. And the most I can do is donate to the cause.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, I
good.
think no one's
Freedom.
honest because we have the fear, the continuous fear of being judged, but they can't judge if you just tell them.
Well, and they can judge. And that's when they want to, if they want to take up their plate space with judging, that's on
Yeah,
them. You can't control
my
that. It's
plate's
not your
full.
responsibility. Their response is not your responsibility. But I think even on the plate, there is so much that I add to the plate that people aren't even thinking.
No, yes.
And I
No.
make it harder and I add to it with with all these false narratives that I've added to the plate. So their response is not your responsibility. Don't put that on your plate. but be really focused. I think this is really helpful. And as we're considering capacity in that way, can that lead into this weekly check-in? Tell me about
Yeah, let
Sunday
me tell you
planning.
this about
Okay.
capacity before we
Okay.
go on.
Okay. Okay.
One of the other things I want to say about making the plate, because somebody's listening and they're going, I can just think of it all. I don't physically need to write it on a paper and make a plate. Those are lies. So I'm just going to tell you before you even say it, that's a lie you're telling to yourself. You need to write it down. There's something about seeing all of the things, because as moms, we do way more than we think that we do.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so seeing it written down and then handing it off to someone to hold you accountable and letting them see it and look back at you and go, oh, you forgot this, or you didn't remember this, or, oh my gosh, Heather, you wrote a lot on there. You probably need to chill out. What can you take off? This is the other thing I want to say. Write expiration dates on things that you can hand off. As your children grow up, every year for my kid's birthday, I give them something from my plate that I used to do for them. Okay. So like, for instance, I no longer make lunches. I no longer do their laundry. And I'm talking not only their clothes, I'm talking their sheets, their towels. I will remind them, but I won't do it. And so this year, I'm going to tell you about Sunday planning next, but the little, he just turned 9. You know what I gave him for his birthday? His laundry. Bless him. Have a good life.
Great.
That was so nice.
Did you put a
So
bow on
think
that?
of things,
I think I
think of
needed a
things
bow.
like that,
Yeah.
that you can take off, right? Think of how because at the end of the day, we are raising people that we want to be responsible. Yet sometimes as nurturing moms, we hold so much of that responsibility until we're just too tired, or we're fed up, or we just can't do it anymore. And why? When we can give it as a gift every birthday.
Okay, wait, before you go on, because I know moms are thinking this who have the like 3, 4, 5, 6. What are some things you gave them for their birthdays at those ages to take off your plate?
Yeah, so littles, mom of really littles, like toddlers, we learned how to pick up your toys, and it was all about a bucket. So I had a Rubbermaid, and every night you got to pick up all your stuff and put it in the Rubbermaid. And listen, your house is never going to be clean until they move out. So stop trying to do that. But just teaching them the responsibility of, this is your stuff, pick it up. And putting it away, to me, comes later. I think when we want them to pick up, we want them to put away. But just buy a stupid clear Rubbermaid and put it in the middle of the floor. Let them do that, because that's easier for them in that season. Then when they elementary school, so that kindergarten, first grade, part of the Sunday plan when they were little is I would make all the dry for their lunches, so that all we have to do the morning of is do the sandwich, or the night before is do the sandwich. And so elementary school, happy birthday, you fix your lunch, you do all the dry. Now, you may not do good at a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, so I'll still make that, but you're probably going to get that at age 7. I'm giving that up too. So lunches was a big deal. And then
when you say dry, what do you
out
mean
your
by
clothes.
dry? What do you mean by dry?
So I had a Rubbermaid, like a small rectangle one in my pantry that was for lunch. So you put your chips in there, your cookies in there, your Cheez-Its or Goldfish. For the week, just make up 5 bags of those, 5 bags of chips, your cookies, 5 of that on Sunday. It'll make sense in a minute when I talk about Sunday planning, but 5 of that on Sunday, and that's for your lunch. So everything you want in your lunch that can be done before, which is probably everything but the sandwich, it goes in that Rubbermaid. And that way, the night before, all you have to do is grab out of there, and it's just much easier, and make your sandwich and make your lunch. It's just much easier. So that was a gift as soon as they hit elementary school. When they were 8, I think 7 and 8, they got an alarm clock, $5 on Amazon or Target. The gift of waking yourself up. I'm no longer doing that. Here's what time you need to get up, because here's what time you got to be downstairs to get your lunch, and here's what time the bus comes. So you figure that out whatever time you want to wake up. But here's the time I think you should wake up. But I'm giving you the gift of waking you up because you should learn that. And you shouldn't learn it too late. Like, why are we waking them up all the way through middle school and high school? That's too late in the game. They should learn that sooner. And then we're frustrated about why they won't do it. Well, frustrate yourself. So
This
give the
is
gift of waking them
everything.
up.
This is everything. I love everything about this. And I'm sure you have less stress about your 17-year-old heading off because you've been equipping him to be
Oh,
responsible.
I have not, he has not been 10 years. He's 17. He's 10 years. He's been waking up on his own.
This
And
is everything.
he was really good at waking up on his own because he wants to be up before others because he doesn't want to talk. See, that's the kind of stuff that you don't know about your kids
Yeah.
until it's too late. And you're wondering why they're beast in the morning or why they're not friendly because they don't like to talk in the morning. And that's okay. So yeah, they get up on their own. The 9-year-old's been getting up on his own for 2 years. His alarm clock goes off. He gets up.
Amazing.
His clothes are out. We'll talk about that in Sunday planning. So he gets himself dressed, brushes his teeth. He knows everything to do. And then laundry, they got laundry at 9. They get laundry at 9. There's a very well laminated form on all the steps of how to do your own laundry. And they do it because here's the thing. Here's why moms hate laundry. We don't really care about the washing and drying. We hate the folding and putting away. So at 7, you got to fold and put away. And listen, if you come downstairs wrinkled, we got a problem because that means you did not fold and put away. Or you didn't hang up, or you just dumped everything in your drawer and blah, blah, blah. And that teaches them how to be presentable within themselves.
Yeah.
If I'm getting you dressed forever and I'm picking out your clothes forever and I'm ironing them forever, then yes, you're going to be a like in high school and college, you're going to look a mess and you're going to be frumpy, and it doesn't teach you how to be presentable. So they do that at 7. At 9, they get their laundry, but at 7, they get the fold and put away. I will wash and dry, but that's it. And so now I don't do anyone's laundry but my own.
This is everything.
I hate laundry.
I hate laundry too. My husband does the washing and drying, and all the boys fold and put away. But I think we could move into the next phase now. They're old. Mine are old. They could totally do their laundry.
Oh yeah, like do your own laundry. The benefit of the laundry for me was the wear the purple shirt on Thursday. Listen, I need y'all to know. I need y'all to know that I hate that.
All the spirit days. All the spirit days. Yeah.
What? Go Western Day and
thankfully, yeah. I mean, I haven't had to deal with, our school doesn't do that except for they have living history days. So there'll be random like dress like some character in some historical time period. And I'm like, wait, what? What explorer did you get? What county of Texas?
We don't do a bunch of it. We don't do a bunch of it, but we do. Our elementary school does a bunch of, like yesterday, they went on a field trip to children's theater. And so it was wear a red or green shirt.
Bless it.
Like, what the heck?
But when they do their laundry, they know where it is. They know, they take ownership of their stuff. They're not saying, Mom, where's my X, Y, and Z?
That's what I'm talking about. So when you fold and put away at the age of 7, you know where this is, that is, the other is. I don't know. And if you were so kind to come and ask me, I'm going to say to you, oh, I don't know. I don't do your laundry. So
I say, I don't touch your stuff. I don't touch your stuff. So I don't know. I don't touch it.
I don't know.
Well, okay. Tell us about the Sunday planning. Tell us about it.
For the lunch and the outfits, this is how Sunday planning came about. The big boys were 3 and 5 when their father and I got divorced. And I was devastated by that. Truly devastated, because I was the person who wanted, I wanted a family. Like that was my dream. And so I was devastated by that. And I said to myself one day, I've got to have something that will help me refocus and continue to live my life. Like there's got to be something. And so on Sunday, I started planning 5 things that would help me. And so back then, and some of them are still the same. So one of them is outfits. I knew Sunday, Heather, because Heather's the only one that can see me, that I was wearing this today. So I planned all 5 of my outfits. And I used to do it for them. And then as they grew, I gave that to them for their birthday. And so they plan their own outfits, but I still do make them do it. So I did their outfits. I do mine. I see clients every day, so I have to look presentable. So I just get it all done on Sunday. Another thing that I do now that I did then is I write a menu of a meat, a side, and a veggie. Like I write it down and I put it on the fridge. Then I was doing it because what you hate as a single mom or as a mom with a husband is coming home and going, dang it, no one took the chicken out. No one took the pork chops out. Right. So that menu would help me as I'm leaving out go, oh, what are we having today? Yeah, I feel like this. And then just take it out. Right. But then also as a single mom for budgeting, it would help me to grocery shop based on what I'm cooking and all of that. So I do that. Then I
But you
look
don't
at my schedule.
necessarily, you're saying 5 meals, but not necessarily like Monday is this, Tuesday is this. You're just like
No,
5 things and what I feel like for that night. You decide that
5
day.
things:
Yeah, yeah.
meat, side,
I like
veggie,
that. Okay.
in whatever day we
Okay.
eat it, right?
Hmm.
And then the next thing is I would look at my schedule. I still do that now, but the importance of doing it then, and kind of now too, although I do have a driver, a child who drives. But the importance is then nothing, very little things are hitting me on a Wednesday or on a Tuesday because I look at my schedule. I now talk to my husband and say, what do you have? We look at the kids' schedule. I ask them, like all of that happens so that we can know who has practice, who has a game, who has this, who has that. That looking at the schedule also helps you for meals because if you have 2 kids playing sports and no one's going to eat, you either need to do a crock pot thing or a casserole thing, or well, we're going to have to eat out this day, right? So I do that. And then the fourth thing for me that has changed is now I plan out my social media because I do social media for business. And so for it is so helpful to plan it out ahead of time. Why? Because if you wake up today, like, okay, let's take today. Today, the middle gets up and we're going at the crack of dawn to drive into basketball practice. And he says, hey, I need an ugly sweater today because we got to wear an ugly sweater. And before you even say it, I knew I needed it on Sunday, but I thought that you had one. And I looked in your closet. First of all, just for y'all who don't know me, I am a girl and he is a boy. Like, why is he even in my closet looking for an ugly sweater on Sunday? But anyway,
Because
so
he
he
thought
says,
it'd be extra ugly if it was, I mean, there's a fence in
we have
here
time.
somewhere. Okay.
Let's run by Walmart and get an ugly sweater. I was like, okay. And so the kids are crazy. So I plan it on my social. So if I hadn't planned my social beforehand and had it automatically go out, then when would I have written it? Because I'm looking for an ugly sweater at 6:45 in Walmart. And then I go and take him to practice. And then I'm thinking, well, I got to be cute for Heather when I get back. So
You do.
you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's just a pro tip. If you are on social for business, it needs to be a part of your Sunday plan. And then the fifth thing I leave open for, if we have look at the schedule and we have time, I'll plan a date night, or maybe I want to get away. And so I will look at the schedule and everything and go, you know what? I am going to take myself to dinner on this day and I'm going to be out away from all of y'all. So I've been doing that since they were 3 and 5. This year, um, I made it into a product, which is a Sunday planning journal, because I've been talking about it online since about 2017. And this year I finally made it into a journal and people could buy it. And if you follow me on Instagram, or if you want to, you can go. There's a highlight that says Sunday planning. It's not just me. This isn't something that I made up. It is something that I made up.
You made it up.
But
Yeah, for
people
sure. Yeah.
really do love it. There is a lot of women who you'll see in that highlight that have said, oh, this is life changing. This really does help, because everybody's not a planner. And so for me, the purpose of Sunday planning is to help The people who are planners, oh, they love that journal. It has a space for gratitude and affirmations and menu and grocery lists. There are people that love that, right? But then there are also people who don't really plan a lot. And so there's a notepad. It's just a simple notepad where Sunday planning and you do that. And then there are the people who just need the reminder. And so we have a text community of Sunday planning members and things like that. So it is helpful for if you are a planner or if you're not, and looking at your schedule, planning your outfits. That's such a time saver in the morning that you don't even know how much time you waste saying that you're fat trying to find something to wear on a daily basis. It's the dumbest thing. And so it really is. It's really helpful for moms of teens and tweens, whether they're a girl or a boy. My boys have been doing it for years. They only do three things. They do their outfits, they do their lunches, and they do the schedule. That's the stuff that they do, because why wait until they're in college to go, how are you preparing for the test that you knew that you had a week ago or 2 weeks ago when the teacher told you? Why? That's why so many kids don't do well freshman years, because it's too much responsibility on them. And so when I created the line, the notepad was really an ode to my boys, because they just have three things, and I knew they wouldn't want to journal, but and they do it. They plan all five of their outfits. They tell me what's on their schedule, and they look at it and go, what do I really need to do this week to, maintain my grades or hang out with my friends? And tell my parents early, because you can't tell us the night of that you want to go hang out. That's a rule in this house.
Okay.
And so, yeah, it really helps them. And that's another way that we could take that responsibility off of us as moms and parents and help them grow a little bit more.
Well, and people talk about Sunday scaries, particularly, if you do have work demands coming up and you've, maybe chilled out on Saturday. To me, Saturday's real Sabbath. Sunday is not.
Yeah.
It's the Jewish Sabbath, if you will. So I feel like those Sunday you start to all the things creep into your mind at the same time. So to have that planning where you have things decided that, take extra mind space up, that can make you feel less overwhelmed or fearful of the week coming up, because you've taken ownership of that.
It makes you not hate Mondays as much,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Then you don't really hate the Mondays, because you've looked at your calendar, you know what's coming, you have written what your 5 possible things you're going to have. And even if you don't work outside of the home, listen, if you are a stay-at-home mom or you work in the home and people don't see you, get dressed 3 out of the 5 days a week. It makes you feel so much better. You don't have to get dressed every day, like start slow, but get dressed. It does make you feel better. And so that knowledge, that preparedness going into your week makes you not hate Mondays so much.
That's good. So my boys wear uniforms. So I don't know about the whole picking what they wear. And then they have hot lunch as part of their school, which is really nice. So what other things would you recommend, though, adding to their list? I totally think looking at their schedule and knowing what tests is really helpful. But even for moms of littles, that maybe they don't have lunches yet. What are some things that you've seen helpful for other clients for them to think about going into a week?
So when they wear uniforms and when they buy their lunch at school, then I split the schedule into 2. And so I say, okay, personal, and I still say professional, even though it's them. So personal and professional, look at your schedule. So professional, that's school. So look at that and see what you need to be studying this week, what you need to read, how can you get ahead. That's what you do professionally. And then personally, look at what you want to do and don't wait till the last minute to decide when you're going to do it, when you're going to tell me. And then I give them a chore, and add that to their list. Like, okay, so then the other thing is, what is your chore this week? My boys clean the kitchen every day and they rotate it between the bigs. The little doesn't clean yet. And so, making sure that you do your chores on time when you're supposed to do that, just have it written out. And so it's not a lot,
Yeah.
but it's the slowly teaching them to write things down, to not keep everything in their head, and then B, take responsibility for themselves. So I would say to them, because there was 2 years that my boys wore uniform and so they didn't do outfits. So then I said, oh, then there's no reason that your room should be clean, should be dirty, because you don't have anything else to do. So every Sunday you should clean your room, right? And they would be like, oh, is that what that means? Yeah, that's what that means. You should clean your room and your bathroom. Now, I don't use their bathroom, so I don't ever care how it looks, but
Yeah.
you should care. And so, I would say that. I would do that for kids who have less. I would just split the schedule up, and then teach them about doing their chores in the way that they need to do them, and make sure that they do it on Sunday. Like, your room should definitely be clean on Sunday. That's what my little does. He has to do his room and laundry, because then if they aren't doing outfits and all of that, then Sunday should be their laundry day, or whatever day they choose. But no, you got to get that laundry divided up and get it done.
I was going to ask that. Do
Yeah.
y'all coordinate so that they're not like, no, I'm just doing my laundry, fighting over who gets the washing machine?
No, the little he does his on Sunday, because that, he just does, that's his Sunday plan, is his lunch, his outfits, and his laundry in his room. And then I think the middle does his on Thursday, and then the big on Friday. Yeah.
That's good.
And they just figured that out on their own. I don't care. I don't care when y'all do it. Just know I'm not going to do it. So they figured that out on their own.
I'm not going to do it. Well, and I would think for a mom of littles, it's going to be a lot of her planning for her week, since I think she still kind of owns a lot for the little people. She hasn't moved a lot off her plate yet. So I would encourage you, if you have littles, to make sure you're planning for your week. When are you going to see a friend? Who's someone you can reach out to get your kids together? When are you and your husband spending time?
Crucial.
Yeah.
Schedule is really crucial when you have littles, because you make everything about them and forget you. And so, I'll say this too. I don't know if you realize it, so I'm just going to give you a little news flash here. Your kids are not your why. They aren't your why. No. Because you're not going to like them one day. And so on the day that you don't like them, your purpose still has to happen. So they can't be your why. But yeah, moms of littles, be good to yourself and think, what can I do for me this week? It's like I said, I hold my fifth one for weekly stuff. And so sometimes it's a date night. That's me being good to myself and knowing that I should probably still spend time with this guy, because when these kids get out of here, it should just be me and him. And then there's also times where I hold it and I go, I've been with these people enough. I'm going to go to a nice dinner by myself. I'm going to put my earbuds in and listen to a book, or I'm going to bring a book and actually read at a corner table. I am going to, I'm going to put on my Sunday plan. I'm going to text Heather now and see what she's doing and ask her, is there a day this week I can come and have coffee on her couch? Like, things like that. So schedule is really a big one. Menu and groceries is another big one for moms, stay-at-home moms, because it's that last minute that gets you. And the stay-at-home moms whose kids come home at 3, I think the 3 to 4 or 3:30 to 4:30 is the witching hour. And so when they were small, part of my Sunday plan was what is happening in the witching hour. Like, I literally wrote that, because I knew that hour was beginning to be hard for me. And so how can I avoid it? So that hour became part of my Sunday plan.
So smart. And for the mom who could identify with you having to walk through divorce with a 3 and a 5-year-old, and How long were you in that season of single parenting?
So I've been a single parent twice. So the first time, 6 years. And then the second time, if you know me and you know my story, then my husband went into a coma and he passed. And so I did that for 4 years. And I was pregnant with him when he went into the coma. So that's how I know that Sunday planning works, because it was my anchor both times so traumatically. I call it the anchor because it was the thing that kept me grounded and kept me focused. And so if you are a mom going through anything like that and you feel so alone, I tell you that truly should be your anchor. Like, that is what keeps you walking, because what I say all the time is just keep walking. Don't stop, even if it's down to a crawl, even if it seems like you're not making any progress with these teeny tiny steps, they are. And so just keep walking. So look at your list and go, what will help me to walk? And do that. Put that on your Sunday planning list and do that so that you just keep walking.
That's a lot, Retha. Thank you for sharing. I did not know that part of your story.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
so
I'll
sorry.
send you a link for you to listen to. I've told my story before.
Yeah.
On another podcast. I'll send you a link to that, because it is. Listen, I think that's one of the reasons that I do the work that I do for women, is because no matter what life has thrown at you, maybe you threw it at yourself, maybe life threw it at you, maybe you were the result of someone else. You still have a light in you. You still can do good in the world. There's still purpose for you. It could be extremely dark now, but small things can make a big impact later. My little is 9. I usually reflect on his birthday and go, wow, look what God can do. And so, yeah, the work that I do and everything I do is for women to know that your past doesn't define you. God redeems it all, and that you can come out looking great. You can come out having learned so much. And so I want to say this because I feel led to say it. If you are listening to this podcast and you are going through something so hard right now, and you hear me saying just keep walking and you don't know how to walk, I want you to get the Bible app or whatever and read the NLT or Message version of the book of James. It's the best book in the Bible, according to Retha. It's short and sweet. It's 5 chapters, but it's really good. And that's what saved me. And when I thought there's no way I can go further, and I'm taking care of a comatose husband, and I'm pregnant, and I just found out he was having 4 affairs, and how do I keep going? I kept going, and you can too. And so read that Bible, reach out to me and I'll pray with you. But yeah, if you think you can't do it, you can do it. And that's why you're listening to this podcast, because you needed to know that you can do it.
Goodness, I have goosebumps. I'm so thankful for you. I'm thankful that
Thank
all of
you
that
for having me.
pain is not wasted.
No,
It's a
God
testimony.
wastes nothing.
Yeah, it's testimony. And it's, it seems simple. Plan out what you're going to wear and what you're going to eat. Take care of your body, take care of your time, be a good steward of that. But it does help you keep walking, keep going.
Yeah. It seems so simple, and it is simple. And it is, I mean, like, it's not rocket science. It's nothing at all. But that simplicity is what you need in this season. And so that's why you should do it. It helps you anchor yourself. And when we talked about capacity earlier, that helps you to know where you are and know what you need to do. And it just slowly lessens the feeling of overwhelm that you have. And you begin to be who you were called to be. Listen, I say this all the time. and there's no way I could not say it today, is that this is not a dress rehearsal. This is your life.
Yeah.
You don't get another option. You're not an understudy for someone else, and someone's not an understudy for you. And so this simple thing of Sunday planning, or this simple thing of looking at your capacity, is because you are meant for more. And you got to find the margin for that. And you got to know where you are. So don't take your life for granted.
Oh man. And I think too, if we do this, it frees us up to be there for each other, for the mom who is in that season and we're not, and we can show up on a whim because we've already planned our meal. And so because our schedule is a little freer because we're not rushing to the grocery store, we can be available to sit with a friend a little longer. I just think it is a matter of giving yourself the bandwidth to be used by the Holy Spirit, however we're pointed. And so I'm thankful for people like you that help people like me bit flibberty gibbet. And so I'm gonna give it a shot, because I think I tend to do mine Monday morning if I do planning. And I think that's even a waste of my Monday morning that could be productive for other things. So
yeah,
appreciate you so much. Where can everybody find you? Is there anything that you mentioned a few things we'll put in the show notes, but any other things you want to highlight for them besides the Sunday planning places to?
No, I think I'm on Instagram. So find me on Instagram, and I'm at Retha Nichole, and there's an H in Nicole, Nichole. And my website's my name too. And so you can find me there, and SP Circle is the link in my bio. So it's thespcircle.com, and you'll link all that in the show notes. And so, yeah, you can find me there. And I talk about practical ways to live your life for the best on Instagram. I give a couple of stuff about raising teenage boys, but yeah, I live to tell women that they are meant for so much more, and their more is different from my more, and I need them and they need me, and we all need each other. And so, yeah, you can find me there.
Love all that. Love all that. Well, thank you for being with us today and sharing and encouraging us, and have, just the best year.
All right. Happy New Year, guys.
All right. Bye.